Alright, what's good, YouTube? It's Eternal What Ifs back with another video. No, I said I was gonna post like almost daily, but I ain't figure out. I don't know what happened. I said like almost daily, so like I ain't never see like daily, so like y'all can't even say that. But as you can see in the video, I mean, as the title, thumbnail and stuff. Video, what if Naruto trained with clones? Basically what we gonna do today. Movie. I'm in a process. I'm in a process right now of thinking what I should do. Make this a movie or a series. I'm gonna do this series right now, but I might make like a movie part of this later. Put all the parts together and stuff. One of my favorite what if YouTubers. I don't know. I know his name, but like I barely know how to pronounce it because like my speech is Zezer. Yeah, this my favorite what if YouTuber, and that one weeb and the Golden Widows and all that other stuff. All the good people. Izukage, all of them. Rogue X, all my favorite what if characters. They kind of wanted me kind of were the reason for me to start making what ifs. So shout out to them and all that. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and head to the intro. Y'all enjoy. Peace. Well, not peace, but like until we get in the story. All right. Bye bye.
I came in with a new 40 Glock. Fuck on your bitch, make that hoe want a milli rock. I'm with my boys and no, we do not milli rock. Funny money, no, this is not no silly guap. Got a richer milli, this not a silly walk. All this money make me want hit my diddy bop. Tell her at the bank, I'm just give me lock. At the dealer, I
Alright, YouTube. The story of Naruto is about to begin. So basically, the story starts off seeing Naruto on the ground, had a little damage, cut up and bruised, with a bleeding Iruka over him. Naruto, he can't give Risky the scroll. He's a traitor. He's gonna use the scroll for evil. See, Iruka had to, had the shuriken stick in his back. Naruto is just on seeing Iruka hurt like this, just spaces out and misses everything that Iruka is telling him, basically. Because Iruka right now is telling Naruto basically how much, he believes Naruto. But Naruto is spaced out, seeing how Mitsuki just did that to Iruka. So a little later, after telling Naruto and stuff, Iruka realized that, while telling Naruto, realized that there's a paralysis toxin on the poison, on the shuriken that was on shuriken, making him paralyzed. So Naruto begins to become enraged and starts to leak the Nine Tails chakra just a tiny bit, going into the seal. And then still we see Naruto almost about to take off the seal when Minato, the fourth Hokage, appears, grabbing him, stopping him before he could fully rip the seal off. No, before he can actually pull the seal off. And at that point, Naruto had just snapped out of what he was just about to do, and controlled by the Nine Tails. Naruto, didn't expect to see you this early on. thought at least you would come a little bit later. What? What? So it's Naruto. Naruto becomes confused and like wondering why it's the fourth Hokage like in front of him right now. He thought the fourth Hokage was dead. So he decided to voice his visible confusion. What? Uh, you're the fourth Hokage. I thought you died. Killing the Kyuubi. And speaking of the Kyuubi, why is why is it behind the cage? I thought it was dead. Naruto would say. And well, Naruto, I didn't actually kill the Naritos. There's no physical way to kill a Biju. They'll just reform like a year or two. So he says, "Oh, Naruto realizes that the fourth Hokage knows his name." And Naruto says, but you're the fourth Hokage. How do you know my name?" "Well, Naruto, I am the one who named you." "Named me?" I mean, I am the one who named you, said Minato. "Named me? What do you mean?" Naruto said. And then it just clicked in his head. It all came together. The blue eyes, the blonde hair, no parents. He just realized, he finally realized he was the son of the fourth Hokage. Finally realized him. But yeah, I'm your father, Naruto. Naruto would say. And Naruto just would get kind of mad that Naruto starts trying to punch him. Naruto just dodged out of the way, out of Naruto's punching spree. "Why would you ever seal the Naruto inside your own son?" Naruto would say. He would just yelling at Minato basically, to asking him why did he decide to sit Naruto at him, making his life a living hell. And this would have basically Naruto's life was a lot worse actually. Well, not like a lot worse, but like it was worse. Like beatings, like he got beaten a little bit, right? And whenever his birthday rolled around, he was always chased or hunted within Konoha by the villagers, and chased by mobs. He always had to run for their life, and he had to fend for himself within the village, making him tougher and a lot more smarter. Not in like book smart, you should say, but like in tactics and like stealth and speed. So you know, that's basically a little bit what happened, like in Naruto's life. Naruto basically tells Minato that Minato is honestly shocked that the villagers, the nice kind of villagers that he trusted his whole life, would turn around and do something so violent and cruel to a child, even if he was a ginger. And Minato decides to ask Naruto, but didn't they know you were my son, Naruto? I wanted you to be seen as a hero from the village. What happened? Well, Dad. Kage Gigi, Hiruzen, he did tell everyone to treat me as a hero, but the villagers didn't listen and thought of me as a demon, always kicking me out of stores and beating me and overcharging me and stuff. And I didn't even know who my parents were, or my father and my mom. And well, until now, I know that you're my dad. Minato just released a sigh. Said, Well, Naruto, I'm just a bit of chakra that my real form has sealed inside of you when I sealed Naruto's in you that day, so I can one day meet you and help you. If you deny test or if you try to make you break the seal, something like that. Speaking of seal, I don't have much chocolate left, so I have to go check the seal and make sure it's not broken or whatever. Not whatever, but like make sure it's not broken. Okay. Remember this, Naruto. Me and your mother always loved you, even when you weren't born. Your mom, your mom was ecstatic to have a baby. So was I. I even had one of my personal uncles, my student, Kakashi Hatake, watch over watch over your mom while she was pregnant. And also just when he was crying, finally knowing that his parents loved him and didn't abandon him. Like most villagers told him. So at that point, Naruto like told him about everything that happened up to the point when Mizuki triggered him to steal the scroll and tells him that he learned a jutsu called Shadow Clones. And at that point, Minato's already done fixing Seal and almost about to vanish. And starting to vanish. I mean, Naruto tells him about Shadow Clone stuff. Minato asks Naruto, "Did you read the whole thing about Shadow Clones?" No, I didn't get a chance since Mizuki showed up before I could even finish reading. So Minato decides to tell Naruto a secret behind Shadow Clone Jutsu that everything your Shadow Clone remembers, you remember, and this is very very useful when training by reading jutsus and learning jutsus and taijutsu and other such things. So Naruto takes it to heart and remembers that and says goodbye to his father. Then we go out to the real world where we see Naruto finally cooling down and decides to run off with the scroll because within the seal, time works difference there. Naruto was in seal for approximately an hour, but in the outer world, he was only uh, like a second. So Naruto, after coming out of his mindscape, decided he immediately takes off with the scroll and is chased down by Mitsuki. So through Naruto, since he's a little smarter and tactical and stealthier, he gets the upper hand on Mizuki by laying a trap, which Mizuki falls in. So this trap, my fault. Naruto runs about 30 to 40 meters ahead of Mizuki, and Mizuki is almost there to Naruto and throws a shuriken. But the shuriken hits Naruto dead on. But instead of blood coming out and Naruto falling down, uh, the Naruto in front of him poofs into a cloud of smoke, and suddenly Iruka is surrounded by hundreds of Naruto clones, which all say, "Mizuki Sensei, I can't believe you tricked me. It never happened again." And he charges and he says, and he also says, And this is for hurting Ruka Sensei. Naruto charges all hundreds of Naruto. I'm gonna say like 500 Narutos. Charge towards Mizuki, all punching him in the face, kicking him, leaving him twitching and bruised on the ground. Since he was overwhelmed and surprised by the number of clones that Naruto made. So Naruto, he heads back to where Ruka is, and when he gets there, he sees the Hokage and a fleet of Anbu, which just arrived, and they seen what happened with Naruto and the clones. Hiruzen says to Naruto, basically he says, "Good job, Naruto. You had a bit of suspicions against Mizuki, and thanks for taking him down. This will be ranked as a B. I'm gonna say this would be ranked as an A rank mission, and you will get the pay of the A rank mission. And this will be on your ninja record." And Naruto just he says, "Well, thanks Okage GG, but is Iruka Sensei okay? He had got stabbed with a giant shuriken thingy trying to protect him. Yes, Iruka will be fine, young Naruto. He just got hit with a paralysis poison that was on a shuriken, on a giant shuriken." Naruto sighs in relief and heads back home. Oh, and Hiruzen heads back home. Naruto reaches home and just falls asleep as soon as he get home, tired and exhausted from tonight's events. The next day, Naruto wakes up, does his normal routine, and heads out to the training ground, making about 100 clones, sending 25 clones to the library to read up on books and tactical knowledge in books, history, and just normal stuff they learn in the academy, and other things. Because Naruto was promoted to a Guinea by Hiruzen, because since Naruto, did clone jutsu and he defeated the Chunin and the traitor, Hiruzen thought it would be fit to make Naruto Guinea right now, and tell Naruto that if he's gonna become a Guinea, he's gonna have to take his training more seriously, so not to be a burden. Because at this point, Naruto has zero skills. Not zero skills, but like, compared to other people, he basically has no skill. So he sends 25 to the library to read up on just knowledge. Since others to read up on the taijutsu scrolls that that the Hokage gave to him, that were his mother and father's taijutsu scrolls. Since Naruto told him that he met his father, and he told him that Hiruzen noticed a seal on Naruto's stomach, a new seal. And you know that it wasn't him or Jiraiya, and the only person else who could do that was Minato or Kushina. And Naruto tells him about the encounter with Minato. In his mind, he tells him that he knows that his father, that Kushina Uzumaki's mother. So Hiruzen at that time sighed and decided to give Naruto his inheritance, but not announce that he's the child of Minato Kushina yet, since Naruto isn't strong enough to protect himself or from outside ninja, and some ninja, other ninja and stuff. So, there's only 1 week until Naruto has to go to the academy and find out his team replacements. So yeah, go back to the training field where we see Naruto training. Naruto reading a book on Fuin Jutsu with 25 more clones. No. I ain't gonna do that. See, Naruto training, exercising, running around the field, and running around the field and doing push-ups, sit-ups, and other exercises because he knew that his clones couldn't do his physical work for him because he only had a muscle memory, which allowed him to remember stuff and not like gain muscles and stuff from Zen training. So while his clones are working on reading stuff and training, he's doing his workouts and taijutsu and stuff. So he has 25 clones going to the library to read up on books, 25 on Fuinjutsu, another 25 on his taijutsu scrolls, and another 25 working on his kenjutsu, which he learned that his mother was a kenjutsu master. He learned that his mother was actually the red death. The red hobbit. I forgot. Red habanero, red death habanero, red habanero death. I forgot, but just something like that. He was Kushina, and he knew that his mother was as I said, was a master, and she actually took down the all 7 sources of the mist at one point, which was why all the swords were scattered all over. So, skip to like 5 hours later when it's 10 a.m. since Naruto came out to train at 5 a.m. Oh crap. No, he ate not. And during 10 o'clock, he decided to go eat more. Decided to go get something to eat at Ichiraku Ramen's, a ramen shop, since they also serve a breakfast, which was not ramen. Since he learned that he was short because he ate ramen all the time, he was disappointed that he had to stop eating ramen as much. But ultimately, he decided to do it so people could take him more seriously. He could be taller, and people would stop calling him a shorty. So Naruto walks in the shop, only to see no one except for Ichiraku Ramen, the ramen stand owner, and his big sister figure, Ayame. So Naruto, what will you be having today? Says Ayame. Well, today I'm thinking just toast and eggs and origami. What is it called? And sushi. Naruto was here. So as Naruto's waiting, Ayame decides to ask him about becoming a Guinea. Naruto perks up at this and says, well, Ayame, Nisan, I think Nasan, I think. Nachan. Well, Ayame, I actually became a ninja yesterday, saving Iruka and no, I can't say that. Well, yeah, I actually became a ninja yesterday, and I learned an awesome jutsu from a scroll I found. I'm actually pretty happy, and I also found out who my father was. Well, that's great, Naruto. I'm really happy for you. Ayanami said, and to Tayuchi. Thanks, Iron. So after a minute, she come not she, but Tayuchi enters the name. He comes back with the order and gives it to Naruto. Naruto just sits there and eat his food, his breakfast, and after he's done, he waves a goodbye to Ayame and Tayuchi, the roundabout, and he heads out to do one more training that he really needs. So Naruto heads back to the training ground, creates 100 more shadow clones to do this training that his Gigi said that he really needs. So, which is chakra training, controller training. So Naruto has a bunch of high-ranking chakra control exercises because of the amount of chakra he has, and Naruto creates about 100 clones to start the chakra control. He makes 25, about 25 do the tree walking exercise. Since it's the Team 7 training ground, there's a lake nearby, so he does another 25 to do the water walking exercise, and another 25 to do the leaf exercise, and the other 25 will just head back to the library to read up on books. So Naruto earlier that day, the first time he trained, realized that dispelling all his shadow clones at once was a big mistake since it gave him a massive headache and a nosebleed. So he decided to only dispel one group at a time. And during that time earlier, Naruto actually, from his clones, learned a lot and gotten a lot of better at his taijutsu and ninjutsu and genjutsu a little bit of genjutsu too. Since training by yourself it will be a while. Like, say you're training with one clone, it speeds up your training by two times. Say you have hundreds, it speeds up your training by 100. So if you have approximately 100 clones training, it gives you about years of training basically. So Naruto still hasn't perfected most of the stuff, but like he's learned it. He's still learning, and he's on like the basics. So skip to later that day. You see Naruto just minding his business, walking around the village. When he comes across who do I want him to meet? Here's his ship. Let me look out. I'm making ship, and I'm putting him on team. No, I ain't gonna tell you. You'll find out. So basically, Naruto's just walking around the village and comes across Ino's family flower shop. Decides to go in to get flowers because Naruto, from a young age, actually was fascinated by planting and gardening plants. So ultimately, he decided to, go into buy plants and other stuff. Since he normally goes there Like at the time when he does, doesn't work at the time he goes. But this one particular time, Naruto sees he walks in, making a bell ring, and at the counter hearing it says, "Welcome to the Yamanaka flower shop. How can I help you?" Naruto basically is shocked and says, what are you doing here? Me? I work here. This is my family flower shop. What are you doing here, Naruto Baki? Can't imagine someone like you being in a place like this, planting and gardening. That would be, well, you don't know very much about me. So this is probably why you literally know nothing about me. So, but I didn't come here to argue. I just came here to buy some a couple of planting supplies so I can keep my plants in shape. Is shocked and says, "You garden?" Of course I do. I've gardened since I was a little kid, since I was a child, basically. It says, "I usually come in this shop all the time, but I didn't know it was a Yamanaka shop until now." Says Naruto, "You idiot. How could you not know that this is a Yamanaka shop after all these years of coming here?" "I don't know. I just guess I wasn't paying attention," Naruto says, and grins wildly. "Well, I'll be back with your supplies." You know what to say. And a couple minutes later, she arrives back with his supplies. It says, "Well, here you go. It'll be 250 yen." "No problem," says Naruto. And his, the yen. But before he can leave, notices the headband on Naruto's arm and says, "Wait, you passed? Thought you failed." So, well, actually, I can't tell you exactly how I passed, but I can tell you that I passed in the field by saving something. I can't really tell you exactly how I did it, but it's I passed in the field, and this all you need to know. And basically, that's it. So basically, we're gonna just time skip to the next day. Basically. So that day, after Naruto left the shop, he left, wondering about the blonde ninja in orange. The orange, happy-going ninja, Naruto. Left her wondering if Naruto did, like, who is Naruto, basically? Like, what does he do, like, because she never really wondered or cared about what Naruto ever did. She basically thought, like Sakura, that Naruto was an idiot and didn't know anything. But today, she learned that really isn't true fully, since she really doesn't know anything about Naruto. And she's a little worried because they've been in the same class for 4 years and she knows nothing about him. She even knows a little things about the quiet kid in the class. He doesn't say anything much. He's quiet, but Naruto, he's an outgoing, happy-go person. So after that, Naruto starts to, you know, dispel his clones, see what he learned for the day. Oh, I forgot. He had made more clones to learn a little bit of Kenjutsu, Taijutsu. He basically made clones the same thing he did yesterday, but like he included chocolate control. So after dispelling the clones, all the clones fully, he tried the wall climbing exercise and found out that he could walk up the tree, but like he's not at mastery level where he can like fight on a tree or like stay hanging on to a tree for a long period of time. And seen as the water walking exercise, but he seemed to get the leaf exercise quickly because of the chakra that it takes to use it. And what exercise? And he learns a lot from the trips to the library, and is shocked by all the things that he didn't know, all the simple things he didn't know. So at this point, there's about 6 more days until no. There's about 6 more days until uh to team placements, and I'm really just gonna zoom through it. But throughout this time, the second day, Naruto basically does the same thing, but he's like he's going out in a village looking for a better attire because he he learned that his orange jumpsuit is not it. He learned that he can easily be spotted even though he hides from a ninja just because he knows the village well. But like he can't do this when they're in enemy territory or outside of the village because he never really ventured outside of the village, well at least not far anyway. So he decides to go to a ninja shop, and when he gets there, he sees uh, a girl about his age, maybe a year older, with pigtails and Chinese, traditional Chinese style clothing. And we notice as Tintin. How can I help you today? You know, say, said. I was just coming here to look at clothes and to buy new clothes because these. Wow, you really are a mess right now. You know, would say. I mean, not but Tintin would say, you really do need new clothes. Follow me. As Naruto followed Tintin to the like the clothing section for ninja, and goes to the area where about his size of clothing at. And throughout the time, she helps Naruto basically pick out clothes on basically clothes that say he gonna fit him good. And on one of the dress up rounds, he comes out with black ninja sandals, about dark gray, almost bordering black ninja pants that were a little baggy but like not too much. Ninja pants and in a white hoodie, like a white ninja hoodie, whatever you could say, and a black shirt with mesh armor underneath, with fingerless gloves with a metal plate on the end, on the top, and basically a mask covering his face. And he asked Tintin, well, Tintin, because she learned her name, she learned his name. Basically, how do I look? He would say. Tintin would just sit there with a blush on her face and says, she stutters, you, you look good. She would say. It says, this is the one. Yeah. So after this, Naruto would proceed to check out the clothes and decide that at the moment he would just keep on his regular attire and my fault. Keep on his regular attire and he would just what should I say? What should I say? He would just wear this, wear that when he's on the day of his team assignment assessment. He would say. So after that, Naruto basically just go around all around proving himself throughout the week, learning more knowledge, becoming as smart as soccer by the end, becoming even more smart and eventually smarter than soccer by the end of the week that he had to train. And his taijutsu improved hundreds fold, becoming being able to beat Sasuke and no, yeah, being able to hang with Sasuke in terms of taijutsu or lead in terms of taijutsu because the style that he's learning is his parents' style, basically. The hummingbird, I got this from like other, no, not the hummingbird, but the cheetah style, which was Minato's style of fighting, which relied heavily on speed and agility. And he learned the lion style, which relied on speed, agility, and power, which was his mom's style. The styles are still in the basic, still in the basics, and Naruto hasn't really learned them to us since it's only been a week. But he's made lots of progress in terms of his taijutsu with his clones, and we learned more strategies and ways of fighting people and team strategies. And his Fuinjutsu is coming on extraordinarily good. But in terms of uh, Konoha's mastery, Naruto would be considered not a master, but like he reached a level. I'm gonna say like a level four seal master. Since his Uzumaki genes just took over and made it easy for him. Oh my god, made it easy for him to understand seals. It just came to him, just came natural to him. So he learned that pretty fast, and it's chakra control, which was really dumpster water. Like it was so freaking trash at the start of the week, and eventually uh he gained mid tuning levels of chakra control. You could say training non-stop all day every day. I mean non-stop for hours basically. You're reading for hours, and also throughout the week, Naruto was also made and met many friends, such as Tenten, who introduced him to her team, Team Guy, and he really liked Lee, like how outgoing he was, and how he used to get a dead last, and now he's really strong, basically like him, but like strong right now. But he didn't really like Neji since when they first met, Neji was being rude and calling him a nobody, a common, a weakling. Naruto never liked him, didn't even like him, basically. And occasionally, throughout the week, he would join her training sessions. Since he asked a guy to help him with taijutsu, and he's also been kind of hanging around Ina more since Ina decided that she would try to get to know Naruto a little bit more since the realization of her not really knowing anything about Naruto really shocked her because since she knows everything about everyone, since she's basically the school gossiper, she knows everything about everything. And one day she stumbled around Naruto and all his clones training, like on his sixth day. And, basically she would go up to him and ask him, "Hey Naruto, what, how can you make all these clones? Don't you fail? You were, I thought you were terrible at the clone jutsu. At the, at the clone jutsu. How are there so many clones here? How are those training?" Well, I'm actually a shadow clone. Naruto is actually out shopping and stuff. But basically, uh, we're we're not illusionary clones. We're actually physical, and we're shadow clones. So that's why there are so many of us, and we're physical, can actually fight and use juices. At this point, she was shocked because how could someone like the dead last have a jutsu like this? And she just gets even a little bit more determined to learn more about Naruto and how strong he has become over this week. Seeing the taijutsu that he was doing and how he was fighting his clones were fighting against each other, hanging upside down on trees. Seeing how Naruto has become even more stronger, has become stronger since a couple days later from the academy. So we jump to the present time, and now we see Naruto sitting in the back of the class in his new attire that he bought on the second day. We see students piling into the classroom, laughing and are excited to be placed on a team. So after all the students arrive in the class, we basically see Naruto. We basically see Iruka walk in and give his little. I'm so glad that I could teach a bunch of students like you, and I hope you have a great ninja life and come visit sometime. Says this stuff to the graduating class. Then proceeds to tell the team his the senseis and stuff and what team they're gonna be in. Basically, all the teams are the same except in Team 7, Naruto isn't gonna be on Team 7. Actually, Choji is gonna be on Team 7, and Naruto is gonna be on, I believe, Team 10. Yeah, Team 10 with Shikamaru and Ino. Sakura hearing this news is kind of like she was happy, like just a little down that she had to be on a team with the fatso of the class, but she didn't have too much problem with it since she really have problems with Choji much. But she was honestly like neutral, like kind of a little happy, and like not because she's on team with Naruto and she has those feelings about him, how he was the dead last and stuff. But it was all changed, and she's really not happy. I mean, she's not mad about him being on the team, and she's honestly confused, as well as Shikamaru, since they both thought they were gonna remake the Shika Trail, as the fathers were on the same team. So, excuse me, basically, basically, that's that. All the teams are announced, and the Jonin senseis come to pick up their students. Kirina Yugi and Asuma Sarutobi are the first senseis to arrive to pick up their gaining teams, which were same teams, but same team for Kirina and Naruto, and Shikamaru. So Asuma, he takes his students, and he basically just head to like a training ground, and sitting down on a log. Uh, uh, I'm doing this on top of my head. My fault. My fault. If I'm like talking slow, or like stuttering just a little bit. But basically, Asuma, says the same thing that Kakashi does in terms of like introduce yourselves. What do you like, and all that stuff. And says, "Well, Sensei, why don't you introduce yourself first? You don't. Why don't we know about you first, basically?" So, Asuma would basically tell me that his likes are smoking a certain woman, which we know is Kurinon, and many other things like his chakra blades, his father, his family for once, his clan, and many other things that I don't really know much about him, and like his old team and the Fire Goblin basically. And he told me that he was once in the Guardian 12, which was a team assembled to guard the daimyo, the highest rank anyone could ever achieve other than Hokage or daimyo, and stuff like that. Telling other stuff, just like traders, perverts, and all other stuff. Basically, he finished with Gisela talking. Then he says, "Well, your turn. Why don't you go?" And basically says same thing that Sakura would say, but like kind of different. Like she would say that my likes are flowers, planting, gardening, certain chia. She would say, and family and clan, and she would her dislikes are Sakura Baka, Bilbo Brow, and people who hurt or mess with plants, and so the rest of it, like I said, and that's really it. I don't know what she dislikes much, but that's it. She says her goal is basically to become the head interrogation person in the interrogation court, take over from her dad, and also to learn uh, learn more about a certain someone while looking at Naruto. And when she said she liked a certain Chia, she was kind of hesitant since she's kind of like feeling a little, just a tiny bit confused on if she's having feelings for Naruto. So after goes, Shikamaru goes and basically says, he wants to be a cloud. He doesn't like to do anything because everything is a drag, and basically just likes to sleep and not be bossed around. And he hates tropes on women. He the gold. Basically, oh my god. Basically, like I said, to become a cloud, not become an average shinobi. So after uh, Shikamaru goes, it's Naruto turn. Naruto basically tells him kind of the same thing he said in canon, except a lot more stuff. Like he says, "Well, I well, I like gardening. Almost everyone's eyes widen at this, other than Ino's says. Now I think I didn't notice Naruto garden, but then Naruto you hear Naruto get back to saying like gardening, ramen, training, my parents, Okage Gigi, um, sweet. He says a lot of stuff. And his dislikes are the time it takes for ramen to cook, and traitors, perverts, and people who don't like plants and disrespect him. And people who disrespect him in his dream. And he says his dream is to become Hokage, just like his. Yeah, he says his dream is to become Hokage, and that's really it. There's a couple more stuff, but I don't feel like saying it. But basically, after all this, also basically tells them the same thing that Kakashi did. Says that the test they took wasn't really the real beginning test. It wasn't really the test you need to take to become a beginning. And that the real test is 66% of them failing it. And only 9 Guinea will be chosen as Guineas. He tells them to meet up at this training ground tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And he doesn't tell them not to eat since he's not Kakashi. And basically after that, everyone just leaves and goes to separate. And while Naruto later that day decides to scout out the training grounds, since in the book he read that scouting out the area that you're gonna battle in preparation would be very useful and help with tactical traps and other things. So he goes back to the clearing later that night and sets up a whole bunch of clones and looks over the area. And basically, this is where I'm gonna end off the what if Naruto trained with his clones and became more powerful, whatever. So then this is gonna be the end of part 1. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe, and share it to people who like what ifs, and comment some suggestions on what should I do for different what if ideas. And basically go watch my other what ifs on my channel. I know they're not the best, but I'm working on it. So like I said, go check out the new what if I just made. What if Naruto was a reincarnation of Zoro part 2? Go check that out, like that up. And we out of here. Again,